Project Tornado begins in 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tornado. The word itself grabs your attention almost as much as seeing the power and destruction of this force of nature. There's no stopping severe weather, but staying informed and knowing what to do can save your life and keep you and your family safe. Project Tornado is a special presentation from the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Team.
If a tornado happened today, what would you do? Where would you go? Ask yourself this: do you and your family have a plan to stay safe? Tornadoes can happen any time of the year. The best way to stay protected is to be informed. Project Tornado is severe weather education and preparation. You'll learn about thunderstorms, lightning and hail, flash flooding, tornadoes, and most of all, finding your safe spot. Because it's not a question if severe weather will happen in Michiana, but when.
Thunderstorms are very common in the spring and summer. They can last a few minutes or even many hours and can be as small as your block or bigger than an entire county. Severe weather, including heavy rain, hail, and even tornadoes, can form from these thunderstorms, but several things need to come together in order for these storms to become violent. The strongest of storms typically pop up thanks to cold fronts, and they're just the leading edge of colder air. Warmer air is pushed up, causing that to cool and condense, which helps to form clouds. And that warmer air, or the updraft, keeps on climbing, allowing the cloud to mature into a thunderstorm and rise very high in the atmosphere. Rain and even hail will eventually fall out of the storm as it continues to grow. And in some cases, tornadoes can form when that column of rotating air drops from the bottom of the storm cloud and touches the ground. But in the end, all storms eventually rain themselves out. Cooler air collapses the updraft of the thunderstorm, and the sail runs out of the energy required to keep growing.
Lightning may not be a type of severe weather, but it can be very dangerous if proper precautions are not taken. In fact, every year, lightning kills several people in the United States. But how does it form? Well, water and ice particles move around within a thunderstorm cloud, and they kind of rub against each other, creating positive and negative charges. The plus charges sit at the top of the cloud, and the minus charges sit at the bottom of the cloud. Once the charge at the bottom of the cloud gets strong enough, the cloud lets out energy. That energy travels through the air in the form of a lightning bolt and heads to a place with an opposite charge. That can be another cloud or a positively charged spot like a tree, house, or even a person. Eventually, enough charged particles develop within a storm cloud, and that can lead to a thunderstorm producing numerous lightning strikes.
If a thunderstorm is strong enough, hail may fall from the storm cloud. Hail can be the size of a penny or it can be the size of a baseball. It all depends on how strong the wind is within the thunderstorm. Let's learn how this works. In a storm cloud, tons of little raindrops move around inside of the cloud. They move around because of the vertical wind that flows up into the cloud. This is called the updraft. As the updraft keeps getting stronger, it starts carrying the water droplets higher into the cloud. Now, the top of the cloud is much colder than the bottom of the cloud. So the higher the raindrops go, they start to freeze into ice. As they keep moving around in the freezing air, they can get bigger and bigger. And once the hailstones get too heavy for the wind to keep them in the cloud, they'll fall to the ground.
Straight line wind is the cause of most thunderstorm wind damage, not tornadoes. Outflow wind from a thunderstorm can be as strong as 100 miles per hour. Wind that reaches this strength can cause massive amounts of damage over a small area. Straight line wind is often associated with what we call squall lines. Meteorologists often look for a bow shape or curve in the squall line to identify areas of stronger wind. Those strong winds can be just as dangerous as an actual tornado.
In a thunderstorm, winds move faster in the clouds than at the surface. This is called wind shear, which is a change in wind speed with height and direction. This creates a rotating horizontal column of air at the surface. But when the warm air rises, it tilts that column vertically, and the storm actually starts then to begin to rotate. When that spinning column of air reaches the ground, it forms a tornado.
After a storm passes through, the National Weather Service will send survey crews to look at the damage done by storms. Doing these surveys helps them to determine if a tornado touched down or not. A tornado will knock down the trees in all different directions. Some trees might not even be touched. Now, straight line winds knock down the trees in all the same direction. And straight line winds from strong thunderstorms can be just as dangerous as the winds in a tornado. Most damage from severe weather in Michiana is caused by straight line winds.
A severe thunderstorm watch is issued when conditions look favorable for a thunderstorm to produce large hail or strong winds within the next 3 hours, and that appears in pink. When you see the orange, though, that is when we have a severe thunderstorm warning, and the thunderstorm is actually producing 1 inch or greater hail or winds greater than 58 miles per hour, and you'll see that show up in orange. When we see a tornado watch posted, that is in yellow, and that's when conditions look favorable for a tornado to be produced from a thunderstorm. However, when a tornado warning is issued, that is when a tornado has been spotted or indicated on radar. When you see this red warning, you want to make sure that you do seek shelter immediately.
The most important thing you can do to prepare for severe weather is to talk to your family and have a plan to stay safe. Planning ahead is important, so everyone knows exactly where to go when strong storms strike. The key is to find your safe spot in your home. The problem is all our homes are different.
The main goal during a tornado is to find your safe spot. The objective is to put as many walls as possible between you and the swirling debris. In a house, basements are the best, with areas under the stairwells the safest. The next best place is an interior room like a closet or bathroom. The rules are similar for an apartment. Stay away from windows and get to the lowest floor. However, the rules change if you're in a mobile home. If you live in a mobile or manufactured home, you're actually safer outside or a nearby shelter. Mobile homes can be rolled or even shredded by a tornado.
In the event of severe weather, we want you away from the windows. If there's a tornado, you need to find your safe spot. If you're at home, the best place to go is the lowest level, much like a basement. However, if you don't have a basement, go to the lowest level of your home into an interior room, much like this bathroom.
In an apartment, the rules are similar, but it depends what floor you're on. Stay away from windows and get to a closet or a bathroom. However, if you're on one of the upper floors, it may be safer to go to the lowest floor, to a neighbor's apartment or underneath the stairwell.
Severe weather can strike even if we're not at home. A lot of us like to get outside, play sports, or even head to the park with family or friends. In the spring and summer months, severe weather can strike very quickly, so it's important to know what to do and what not to do when those storms roll in.
If you are caught outside during severe weather, it's important that you plan ahead and already have a safe spot in mind. A sturdy building, structure, or nearby shelter is your best option.
This is what I would actually consider a flash flood emergency. This is the worst flooding that I have seen or that I know of in South Bend in recent history, at least as far as my growing up here.
They don't know. Nope. You can't. Nope.
Flooding is the most common, destructive, and deadly of natural disasters. It's also the most underrated, flash flooding being the worst as it combines the speed and power of rushing water. As little as 6 inches of water could wash a person away downstream. As little as a foot of water rushing could float and wash a car away. And just 6 inches more, less than 2 feet of water could float and wash a large van or truck away downstream. Stay out of flooded areas. Turn around. Don't drown. Don't be this guy. Record river flooding impacted many communities in Michiana in February of 2018. This man tries to cross a flooded Jefferson Street in Plymouth. He loses his footing and is lucky to grab a cable. If not, he would have been washed quickly away down the Yellow River before anyone could call 911. Michiana's climate is changing as the planet warms from increasing greenhouse gases caused by the burning of fossil fuels like oil and coal. It's not just temperatures that are rising. The biggest impact we're seeing in Michiana is increased rain events, heavy rain events. Since 1950, the number of 3, 4, and 5-inch rain events has gone up each decade. This leaves our area more at risk for flooding and flash flooding.
Real close.
Let's see what you know about severe weather. True or false? Tornadoes only occur in Michiana in the spring and summer. False. Tornadoes occur at any time of the year, including the winter months. True or false? If you're outside and hear thunder, but you do not see lightning, it's safe to stay outside. False. When you hear thunder, you are within striking distance of the storm. Some lightning bolts can strike almost 50 miles away from the storm. It is safe to walk through flood waters. False. 6 inches of rushing water can sweep a person off their feet. Highway overpasses offer safe shelter during a tornado. False. Air and debris are channeled there. Your best bet is to get as low as possible. Straight line wind causes more damage in Michiana than tornadoes. True. Straight line wind is more common in Michiana and winds can be over 70 miles per hour.
Project Tornado is a special presentation from the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Team.